So let me start with the day my body finally said enough is enough. This is the last straw of torture you will endure spiritually. The stress on my body had a major impact on me in a great way. My body started to filter out all the negative energy that was stuck inside me, past traumas, which eventually all completely vanished. This process, as I believed it to be, was a spiritual awakening. During this cleansing of energy, I suffered from anxiety, sleepless nights, and agoraphobia. Now, if any of these stressors on the body are occurring in your life, I recommend that you change your eating habits, try to eat very clean, exercise, and eliminate anything and or anyone out your life that brings you discomfort. And don't forget to enjoy everything you like to do on a regular basis. The goal is to replenish your nervous system, which all these things helped me out tremendously. The change began in 2018. I was antagonized, tortured, and harassed by a group of people associated with the Department of Homeland Security program, DHS, whom which they decided to use me as their target until my body couldn't take it anymore. This harassment started at my job. Perhaps I just woke up to what's really been going on in my life. And as I would work, I noticed a male culprit who was very socially awkward, always watching me until one day he decided to ask me for my number. That day, no doubt in my mind, I was desperate and wanted to get over a prior person that screwed me over. So I gave him a chance and decided to give him my number. Major mistake. Always listen to your gut instincts and never disregard your intuition. Higher power is telling you something, so please listen to yourself. He called me instantly, but seemed very anxious the whole time we were on the phone. I was a bit worried to meet up with him, but did it anyway. He treated me to dinner, and that was the normality of our situation. He treated me to dinner dates, walks on the park, washed my car by hand, and opened doors for me, which were all great gestures to persuade me to think he was a loving, caring guy. Come to find out, he was just a pawn, used to try to humiliate and manipulate me. After he realized I was starting to catch feelings for him, things changed drastically. Our typical dates were no longer pleasant. He started to check out other women in front of me, secretly grope other women to then flirt with women at our job. Tactic number 1. As the days carried on, I felt totally disrespected and wanted an explanation on why he was being such a pervert. But he kept playing oblivious as to what I was talking about, calling me delusional, gaslighting. At that point, I started to realize that this guy isn't who he portrayed himself to be, and was an undercover manipulator, a narcissist. As I kept speaking out about his behavior, things kept getting worse for me at work and outside of work as well. This guy accumulated a bunch of people to harass, stalk, and torment me all throughout work, breaking in my personal things, having a coworker recite things back to me from receipts they have found in my purse, just to try to confuse me. Tactic number 2. To spraying chemicals on me and my clothing, trying to get me sick, stalking me outside of work, trying to run me off freeways, breaking in my car, leaving one window broken, and not long after that, the culprit asked me about the broken window, which I had never told him about, verifying he had something to do with the break-in. All in all, the year is now 2023, and the gang stalking has not stopped. Hopefully justice prevails now 2023 and the gang stalking has not stopped. No, the year is now 2023 and the gang stalking has not stopped. Hopefully justice prevails itself for me very soon. These members from the Department of Homeland Security program, DHS, are completely abusing their resources to harass me, but at the same time, my gifts have sharpened and the spirit has risen, as I am no longer who I used to be, now embracing who I always knew myself to be. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share. In society why is it highlighted in society that being submissive is a good thing? I pretty much get the feeling a narcissist came up with that agenda to control a person like a muzzle on a little puppy, when in fact, the spirit could be an uncontrollable giant for a reason. I've never felt comfortable conforming to anyone and or anything that constricts me from being who I truly am, divinity, but did so just to avoid conflict, and I've learned my lesson big time from that with so much gratitude. Never do anything that you don't want to do, and that took me a while to come to that conclusion. I was used and abused, not following myself. I dealt with a man that smelled like rotten pig's feet for years because I wanted to help him change his life for the better. But instead, I got sucked into a life that destroyed me for a long time. The day I said not anymore was the happiest day of my life. I am truly grateful. People pleasing put me in the hands of toxic individuals because I am an empathic person, and hated the way I felt saying no to someone, especially when they had anger issues. Jeopardizing myself for someone else's happiness and greed was unacceptable, and no one should ever have to suffer through that. Self-love should be cherished and celebrated as a child, but in my circumstances, I embraced it later on in life. The day I put myself first, things started to shift and realign for me in ways that I could not have imagined. All the negative energy in my body gradually disappeared to the point I now feel like a brand new person, pure, like the birth of a brand new baby, reborn. If you're in a situation with any form of abuse, please leave immediately and don't look back. Your courage is their demise. And that's a line from one of my all-time favorite rock bands, Alter Bridge. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Sorry, but God is not good. The universe is not good. I'm sorry, but God is not good. The universe is not good. I'm sorry, but God is not good. The universe is not good. The Most High is not good. Whatever name or label that you want to put on it is not good. And I'll explain why in just a moment and how this benefits you once you understand this new level of consciousness. So there are 4 vibrational frequencies on the map of consciousness called enlightenment, peace, joy, and love. And I'll put them on screen right now. And below you're going to see a red line. This red line is to show and demonstrate that these are spiritual frequencies, spiritual vibrations, spiritual states. And these particular states are not good or bad, they just is. So we, as people who function on polarity and duality, we would label those emotions as something good. Enlightenment, peace, joy, and love, these sound like positive emotions, but they are not positive emotions. They just is. They just are. There's no good and bad. The yin and yang have collapsed with these particular frequencies. Love and above is the God frequency. So if you look at my...
And that's the reason why Bobby Hemmett always say, there is no good and evil. There is no good and evil. You got to get out of that. Because when the government come for you, you better have some other than Jesus. But the reason why he said there is no good and evil, because if you have a hard time believing that, all you got to do is look at the safari, look at wildlife, look at insects. Insects eat other insects. The cheetah is going to chase that gazelle. The cheetah will chase you if you was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is God? How come God didn't save the gazelle from the cheetah? You know what I mean? How come God allowed that cheetah to eat that gazelle like that? Well, you got to look on them both on both sides. Yeah, it's sad for the death of the gazelle, and the family and everybody gonna mourn for the gazelle, but at the same time, you just saved a cheetah life. And not just the cheetah's life, but the cheetah's babies, the cubs. So that's one thing about, life down here. There is no good or evil. And then people always be saying, man, why the government targeting us? We're good people, man. We're good people. The beast don't care. Beast don't give a damn about you good. The Bible even said there's none good, no, not one. So, but at the end of the day, there is no such thing as good. There's no such thing as bad. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You gotta understand. Like, bad things happen to good people all the time, yo. Like, and then on the flip side, good things happen to bad people. For example, the people that control us, the people that control this simulation, there's some wicked, sinister people. But at the same time, these evil people, they done stepped foot on the best beaches. They done seen the best waters. I'm talking about water so blue, so crystal blue that you can see your toes under some clean white sand or whatever. Black sand, whatever sand. Like, you know, these evil, wicked, these so-called evil, wicked people that you would consider to be evil, God ain't doing nothing to them. God ain't striking them down. They chilling. You ever notice, like, the most religious folk, like them people that be going to church and stuff? You know, my mom, you know, your mom, if anybody, mother's old fashioned, brought up in the church, going to church every Sunday, Bible study, paying your tithes. Some folk catch the bus. I used to mess with an older lady. She used to catch the bus to church. You know what I mean? You know, but while you catching the bus to church, your pastor got a brand new Lexus. He got a brand new Audi, a Charger, something fly. You know what I mean? But you on a bus and you paying the tithes just for a dude to read the book to you when you could just read it yourself. You best off reading it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So how come God ain't doing nothing about that situation as far as the pastor is driving in something fly while you on the bus? Like, that's not fair. You consider that to be fair? You know what I mean? Life ain't fair at all when you look at life. The most evil, wickedest people got the best houses. The best houses, the best cars. They're living the best life. The most wickedest, evil people that's down with human trafficking, you know, gang stalking, you know, genocide, you name it. The ones that build all these penitentiaries to lock up the world. There's a lot of sinister people that's going on, you know. The ones that control Monsanto, that's giving you all this GMO fake foods. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would consider to be evil. I would consider those things evil. But according to, you know, when you study, they tell you that there's really no such thing as evil and there's no such thing as really good. It is what it is. It just is what it is. It's just nature. It's polarities. You know what I mean? And this is how I find it funny when people be afraid, right? They be afraid to say things because they be thinking that if I say this, God might strike me down. But I mean, that's how they got you duped. They got you programmed when you think like that. You already programmed if you got that much fear in your heart. Because if God was going to strike somebody down, it should have been this wicked behind government, this system. This system should have got striking down. All the sinister stuff that they doing. There's people starving all over the world. That shouldn't be. We got plenty of resources to provide shelter, food, water. You know what I mean? But we're dealing with these greedy behind entities that you and I would consider to be evil. But God don't consider these people to be evil because, you know, God allowing these people to do it. Can I get a no there?
Channel, and you look at the label.
So I'm going to end it right now because the video is like almost 15 minutes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, holla back. We out this joint.
You are being watched. The government has a secret system, a machine that spies on you every hour of every day. I know because I built it. I designed the machine to detect acts of terror, but it sees everything. Violent crimes involving ordinary people, people like you. Crimes the government considered irrelevant. They wouldn't act, so I decided I would. But I needed a partner. someone with the skills to intervene. Hunted by the authorities, we work in secret. You'll never find us. But victim or perpetrator, if your number's up, we'll find you.